Hello, everyone, and welcome to Have Some Style, the podcast, yes, we're also a podcast, and show which delves into all areas of personal style and helps you find yours. Welcome, my name is Mosha Lundström Halbert. I'm a fashion journalist and style expert, and I truly believe that what you wear is self-care. And with that spirit in mind, what you wear and helping you. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. For the first time, I am answering your questions. So the theme of this episode was Ask Me Anything, everything to do with shoes. One of the top questions I get time and time again, both in my DMs, text messages, urgent phone calls from friends, is usually around footwear. It's an area that I've always been passionate about, but know a lot about because I actually used to work as the fashion director of Women's Wear Daily's footwear news. So I was really super immersed in the footwear world. I covered some of my do's and don'ts and really how I approach shopping for shoes, selecting shoes, why I think footwear is so important in an earlier episode. And in today's episode, I'm going through all of the questions you sent in. Thank you so much. I'm going to answer as many as I can as possible to give you some really great practical advice when it comes to a number of shoe predicaments. There's a lot of questions, and so let's just test my shoe knowledge off the cuff. Hopefully I'm able to help some of you. Okay, so this all started because one of you, a lovely viewer named Alicia, wrote me in to say that she was loving the YouTube and podcast. She said that I'm a breath of fresh air and she appreciates what I bring to the space, and that she also purchased a coat from Thermacota and can't wait to wear it. Wow, what a dream follower. Thank you, Alicia. You are good as gold. She did say to me though, and I feel like I owe it to her, I would love if you could feature shoes again, specifically feminine walkable shoes that go with everything or almost everything. I'd be curious to hear your suggestions, and this has been something I've struggled to find. Alicia, I got you. So feminine walkable shoes that go with everything or almost everything. It's funny because, I actually think about shoes usually the opposite way. I think, how can my clothing go with my shoes? How can my shoes go with my clothing? I'm very much like a feet first type of person where I sort of decide and dress from the bottom up and decide first and foremost what shoes I'm going to wear. I mean, it really depends on where you are walking, Alicia. If I'm just like needing a comfortable shoe and wanting to look somewhat presentable or, slip on and off and I'm at home. These are from, surprise, surprise, Anina Bang, a brand I wear a lot. It's just a really comfortable sandal that she does in a number of colors. It's basically like a more fashionable spin on a Birkenstock. I love this shoe. I've worn it to death. She's a really adorable new version in tweed that's just come out that I'm probably going to be getting. And these are just my like everyday slip on and off, go walk the dog type shoes. If you were looking for a shoe that you really want to be walking in and perhaps is more of like a hybrid between athletic activities and just everyday, my number one sneaker and shoe brand in that department is APL. APL is a brand I have known since near their inception. It's founded by two brothers who have become friends of mine, Ryan and Adam Goldstein. They are based in Los Angeles. And what I love about their footwear, they really grew up in the footwear biz too. Their dad worked at Reebok for many years, is they take what you need in terms of like the performance, the support, and the practicality of the sneaker. And they've kind of distilled the design down so that it's not filled with so many superfluous details, like obvious athletic branding that can make a shoe feel less versatile or only work in a sport context. Also, I love their really knit shoes that you can wear without socks and then easily throw in the wash. I've gifted these shoes to everyone. They even have versions like in cashmere. They've got so many unique fabrications. I have a leopard pair that I wear all the time, and it's that perfect like runaround shoe, but it doesn't look overly sporty. It really gives me the ability to wear with a number of different things in my wardrobe. So that would be my tip for you. And I think they really excel in the women's space. If you look at a lot of athletic brands, a lot of sneaker brands, it looks like they put most of their time and energy and resources towards the men's designs and styles. And the women's are a bit of an afterthought in like strange pinks and purples that don't necessarily apply. With APL, it's almost the opposite. Like you feel such a strong focus that they have on their core female consumer and what she needs in order to complete her look. They've also got a number of like really sophisticated and versatile neutrals that you don't often see in the athletic space when it can more be about like blaring neons. So I think for those reasons rather, I gave you a number there. APL would be a great go-to for you. Okay, on to the next question. Hi, Mosha. I'm loving your podcast and fashion tips. I'm looking for comfortable, fashionable shoes. I'm in my early 50s and my size 11 feet are starting to change. I love shoes now, but need to rethink and stretch that shoe to go with different looks. Work to a night out for dinner. Would you be able to provide different brands, I'm from Canada, and different ways to wear the shoe from casual to dressy? I also struggle with what style shoe and a neutral color shoe to go with a few different outfits. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the podcast. Thank you so much, Lena, for that lovely question. First off, the market for women who are above a size 10, size 11 plus, is huge and underserved. Also, women that have very, very small feet, although I feel like they often have a little bit of an easier time with options on the market. Women with large feet, it's so untapped. I don't know why more brands don't offer a wider size range. In that earlier shoe video, I did touch on this. I did go into some brands that I know off the top of my head do, such as Sarah Flint, Ferragamo, Jimmy Choo, and Stuart Weitzman. I feel like Stuart Weitzman is a really good option for women who are in their 50s and have larger feet and are maybe willing to invest a little bit more in their footwear, but don't want to completely break the bank. You can often find Stuart Weitzman styles on sale. You know, they're always introducing new styles that feel of the moment without like a ton of logos. And they've got styles that really run the gamut from dressy to more casual. One of the things I always really appreciated about Stuart Weitzman when I was working at Footwear News and I would get sent almost a free pair of shoes like every week, almost every day actually, I would love it when seasonally Stuart Weitzman would send me a pair, because what I really realized, even though I was getting like these Italian shoes and the newest, hottest, latest, is there was something so wearable about the Stuart Weitzman ones. And this is not sponsored, although I wish Stuart Weitzman, if you're listening to this, it'd be fun to work together, is that their soles come already rubberized. So you're getting that like European hand and quality of their footwear, but you still have some grip on the bottom, which I think, one, it saves you time and money taking them to a shoe repair to have that like taupey sole put on. And two, it just makes it easier to wear the style on multiple terrains, and it makes them last longer too when you're not wearing out the sole so much. Did I answer that question? I need to rethink and stretch a shoe that goes with different looks, night out to dinner. It's really hard for me to say without seeing like your style, your body type, to make these kinds of recommendations. But there is also a website, because she said she's in Canada, called The September, which I think has a lovely edit of footwear. It's just a shoe e-commerce. It's out of Canada and they have great price points. They carry Stuart Weitzman and a number of other brands that offer a wider size range as well. So that would be my tip. Like, start there and see what you find. Happy shoe shopping. Ooh, this is a good one. Best luxury brands for comfort and long-term wear. This question comes from Allie Rose Hayes. So if you are going to splurge and invest on a luxury shoe, here are the ones that I think are the most well-made and well-designed and frankly comfortable. Number one would probably be Gianvito Rossi, Italian brand. The designer is the son of Sergio Rossi. His father was obviously a legendary shoe designer who passed away in 2020, although the Sergio Rossi brand continues. It's separate, also great quality. But Gianvito is really like a living master, and he has such a great relationship with his Italian factories that make his shoes, and also a keen understanding of like how a shoe should fit on the foot, what works and accentuates the foot and what detracts from it. There's never too many excess details. His shoes are very clean, but still have a strong point of view. So I think that's definitely one of my top brands. Also, Manolo Blahnik has amazing quality too. Jimmy Choo isn't bad. I haven't found a style at Jimmy Choo that's really wet my whistle in a while, but I think their quality is quite nice. Gucci has really nice quality, and Gucci's shoes are made in some of the best factories. Their loafers can often stand the test of time. But I mean, what I will say is brand to brand, it does differ also shoe to shoe, because all shoes, different styles of shoes are made in different factories. And when we're talking luxury shoes, they are usually made in Italy. Italy is really the mecca of luxury footwear. Secondary markets for footwear, France is still one a little bit, but not as much. Most of that production has moved to Italy. And then you also have like Spain and Portugal, where they have a lovely hand for shoes as well. Brazil. And obviously there's great shoes made in China these days, but it really depends. Turkey, there's also great shoes out of Turkey. But in terms of luxury brands, let me see if there's any others that like really stick out to me as having amazing quality. Alaya has great quality. Prada has really strong quality with their footwear and attention to the details. What I will say also too, though, I think a really good point is like in terms of consistency and finding a brand where you're getting the best bang for your buck when you are buying a luxury shoe and there is the most attention to detail. It really is brands that are just solely focused on footwear. So that's the Gianvitos, that's the Acquasuras, that's the Giuseppe Zanotti, Rene Calvia, Sergio Rossi as well, like Christian Louboutin obviously as well. Although his shoes aren't necessarily known for being very comfortable, the craftsmanship is very beautiful. So look at, it's like anything in life. When somebody focuses on one thing and just aims to do that really well, the results are usually better. And I find that their styles are usually like less seasonal. And if you find something you like, they'll probably offer it time and time again in different colors. Okay, this question comes from my sister at the Soph. Can you suggest sustainable sneakers with princess dye vibes? Wow, Sophie, that is a very specific question. When I want to sort of channel that princess dye feel these days, I will wear a sneaker from Reebok called the Princess. I have a both low and a high top version, and they're just so retro, princess dye, and I did wear them as well. They're also like very inexpensive. They're definitely not like super known for their sustainability in any way, shape, or form, but the quality is really nice and they're pretty timeless. So if you're keeping them for a while, that kind of ties into sustainability. If you are looking for more sustainable sneaker brands, I would try like Veja, which is like a French Brazilian brand that uses sustainably sourced rubber soles. Also, New Balance has a line of styles that are made in America. So if you're North American based, it's a more like local product. Also, I would recommend checking out websites like StockX and Depop, maybe for a dead stock or even a used sneaker. So it's more sustainable in that way. And you're getting something with a bit more of that retro flair. Or you know what's really sustainable? You could just steal my sneakers as you already do, Sophie, because what are sisters for? Walkable all-day shoes that can elevate work looks. Bit of heel is fine. What kind of classic shapes? From Jasmine. Okay, that's not a super clear question, Jasmine, but okay, you want walkable. You're looking for maybe a bit of a heel and a classic shape. I mean, I do love a kitten heel, and I think it can be very chic and polished and even cool. And the way that I like to wear kitten heels is usually juxtaposed with something a little bit less like prim and proper. So maybe that's like a leather pant. I loved how they styled this at their most recent Chanel collection, this spiffy patent kitten heel with a high vamp and then with like a leather pant. So I would look for a style probably similar to that, which you could definitely wear to work. And Nina Bing actually has some really good lower heels now that I think about it. And I've tried them on and they have a lot of like cushioning in the sole. So they're very comfy. Bottega Veneta also does a number of these styles in that lower heel height. A lot of the luxury brands do. And the reason I've been told that they always do offer kitten heels is because this is a style that does very well in the Asian market, where there are very strong dress codes and ideas around like professional dress and dressing proper for different occasions. And so apparently in the Asian region, and I did notice this when I was in Hong Kong actually, and looking at some of the stores like Lane Crawford, which is their biggest department store, that they don't have as many like sky high heels in that market. They do tend to go towards a more elegant, lower kitten heel. Sarah Flint is another designer that I know who's really become known for her lower heels that are very timeless and well proportioned. So that would be my recommendation for you. And they're perfect for work. Okay, from Sounds Like Mishi. Spring ideas that are not high heels, but not flats. Wow, everyone really wants it both ways, right? You want to be able to have a little bit of lift, but you don't want to feel like you're in pain. I'm really into like a slingback style for spring. I like that my foot doesn't feel completely enclosed. And I also think there's something like very feminine about it. And I like how you can like really accentuate like the point, like a pointed slingback, but also wear it with like jeans or you can wear it in a more professional context as well. So, I mean, I have these ones from Saint Laurent that I really love. Maybe they count more as high heels. Spring ideas that are not high heels, but not flats. I mean, a chunkier platform is also great too. Like a shoe with a bit of volume, a bit of heft, a bit of weight to it, something that is giving you that lift, but you know, you're not sacrificing the comfort. Also in spring, I think it's a great look to wear like a chunkier boot with a bare leg too. So you can take like some of your fall footwear that has been kind of hiding under all your other layers and clothes and really showcase it with shorts, with a shorter hemline in the spring as well. And you're getting a bit of that like chunkier proportion and lift. Bergie says, so difficult to pick a shoe that transcends the trends. That is not a question, Bergie, but that's okay. Do I agree? I think footwear is an area where you should be experimenting. And if there's a trend you want to try, like I think shoes are a great area to be experimenting, you know? Like it's less slavish than if you're changing your look head to toe each season to literally dip your toe into a new trend or try something in footwear. And the other thing I would say is don't worry about it. Shoe trends are actually a bit slower than clothing trends in terms of them catching on, and they also last a little bit longer. So if you are seeing a shoe that you love, forget if it's trendy or not. If there's something about it that you think is fabulous, that you think is missing in your wardrobe, just get it and it'll be great. And you know, you'll wear it. There's very few shoes that I'm like, oh, I won't wear that anymore because it's not in fashion. I don't know. Like I tend to get all my shoes from a really place of like love, pulling on my heartstrings and instinct. So that doesn't seem to happen. 1 second. Oh my God. I feel like while I'm talking, I'm thinking of some of my shoes and it might just be easier to have them here to kind of reference. Wow, Mosha, so organized and professional. Drinking this Icelandic, little kind of Swedish energy drink called Nocco, which is finally available here on Amazon. It's so good. It doesn't make you jittery. It just makes you feel like you've had a vat of green tea or something, like a really good, clean energy. Okay, next question. I wear size 5 US. Is there a style that is best for small feet? Honestly, whenever I would go to the footwear showrooms and look at new collections, they would always sample everything in a size 6 or 7, a 36 or a 37. You know, the industry is oftentimes catered towards small feet, and there's certain brands where in certain regions they'll even like cater their sizing specifically. Like I remember I was once speaking to my sales associate at Chanel and she was explaining to me that I was actually trying to track this shoe down that I just had to have, the like Chanel dad sandal Birkenstock in this tweed raffia moment. And she was telling me about Chanel's sizing in Hawaii. And in Hawaii, they offer a wider width and smaller shoe sizes than they do in other markets because the population there for Chanel oftentimes has smaller but wider feet. I was like, why wider? That's so interesting. And I Wonder if it might have something to do with the fact that maybe people are wearing like flats or sandals more there. So like the foot is a bit more spread out. Does that make sense? I don't know. Am I onto something there? But anyways, I would say though that like if you do have really small feet, you can feel free to experiment with more elongated styles. Like to give you an example, this is Balenciaga's Blade boot from a few seasons ago. And at first I was like, do I really want, I'm a size 10, to elongate my, like this is quite an elongated toe. Do I really want to do that? But then I remembered, I don't care. And I actually think it looks good when you make your feet look a bit larger. It's like a fun proportion because it can make your legs by contrast look a bit smaller. And I like that look. So anyways, I did get this boot. It elongates the toe. If I had really small feet, I think I would look for styles that elongate the toe as well to create a little bit more length and balance there depending on your height. I remember my best friend, you know, your feet change multiple times in your lifetime, the size. I remember my best friend had size like 5 or 6 feet for the longest time. And she was taller than me. She was like 5'9". And it was because she had done gymnastics when she was younger. So she was always looking for shoes that would like kind of bulk up her foot a little bit so that it looked more in proportion with her. So like a chunkier boot can often be a good option as well, just to give your proportions that balance that you might be craving. I don't know. It depends on your size and what you're after. That's just a little insight from me. Do you know your feet change size multiple times in your life? Like if you're pregnant, if you grow or shrink, all of these things, if you live in different places, the humidity, like all of these things affect our feet. Okay, this is from the Lookbook Diary. Thoughts on sneakers in general. Can they look cool in all seasons/occasions? I don't think anything looks right in every setting or occasion. That's sort of impossible. But I do think that there is a sneaker for almost every moment in life and need. And I think there isn't really like a one size fits all sneaker. Like I do think it's a category where you want to have multiple options in your wardrobe. Also, sneakers typically wear out rather quickly versus, maybe a higher quality footwear style, or we're wearing them in a harder way. So I like to make sure I have an assortment and I'm not wearing the same one over and over again and then wearing it out quicker. I do think though, it's really fun to wear a sneaker in a way where it's a bit unexpected. So for instance, the other night I was going to like a food truck festival fair type vibe, and I was wearing like a printed zebra dress. And I paired it with these sneakers that I got somewhat recently from Saint Laurent. They say Saint Laurent here. I'm not usually into that kind of billboarding, but I got these at an outlet and they were such a good deal and I couldn't resist. And Saint Laurent was really iconography. Like Yves Saint Laurent himself was really obsessed with lips pattern and print. So these felt almost archival to me. And I loved the like take on a Converse, but a Saint Laurent version. So this was a way that I was able to like take the dress and dress it down a little bit, but not make, it feel like there was too much of opposing forces, like the look still complemented each other. I also think sneakers can look really great with tailoring in a suit if done right, if they're like a clean and crisp sneaker, especially. There's certain sneakers that you wear to work out and there's others that you wear in a more like casually elegant setting. It all depends on you. But I think it's like definitely one of the best looks is when someone looks like they are dressed appropriately for the activity. So if you're at something where you're going to be walking a lot, like I was at this food fair, it would have looked absolutely ridiculous if I had been in high heels. I ended up like playing basketball, like doing one of those carnival game contests. So I was really glad that I wore my high tops. And that's the beauty of sneakers. Like they don't impede you from doing anything. So yeah, I would say just rock it and try wearing them with different things and make sure that you have like some good options in your wardrobe. I tend to prefer and find sneakers to be most versatile when they are really pulling from the classics, like a classic Converse, a classic Vans, or spins on those kinds of styles. That flew by. I don't know where the time went. That was so much fun for me to answer all your questions and try to be of value and help you. And I hope that I did. Let's do more of these. Follow me on Instagram at Mosha Lundström, where I'll be conducting more of these fashion-oriented Ask Me Anythings, and we can compile these questions, or you can leave them below in the comments. Please send this episode to your friends and people in your community that might benefit from this information that I can help. I'm so honored to be your shoe guru. I got you. Remember, shoes are so important. Don't settle for subpar shoes. Life is too short to wear bad shoes that don't make you happy, that don't elevate you, that don't make you feel proud when you step into any space. You are worth the best shoes you can afford. And whenever you find a pair of shoes you love, if you truly love them and you think that they're unique and that you're going to wear them a million different ways and that they're going to look so great in your shoe closet, just get them. Treat yourself to that, because I just think that they're one of, life's guiltiest, but also guilt-free pleasures. Like I said, if you're ever looking for an excuse, just remember that thing that I was saying earlier, that this is your transportation, okay? This is allowing you to get from point A to B. And, if your tires are faulty, you're going to get them changed. If your shoes aren't working, you got to swap them out. So without further ado, whatever you do, whatever shoes you get, don't forget to have some style. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and let me know what you'd like to see more of, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.